In the early 19th century, America was a nation divided. At the heart of this division was slavery, an institution that fueled economic power in the South and moral outrage in the North. The Democratic Party, dominant in the South, became a key political force advocating for slavery's expansion. Their stance was rooted in economic dependency on enslaved labor and a belief in states' rights to uphold the institution. Southern Democrats, like Jefferson Davis, argued that slavery was essential to their agrarian economy and way of life. Meanwhile, Northern Democrats, though less invested in slavery, often aligned with their Southern counterparts to maintain national party unity. This alliance allowed the Democratic Party to push policies enabling slavery's spread westward, such as a popular sovereignty, letting settlers in new territories decide whether to permit slavery. Democrats played pivotal roles in legislation that protected slavery. The Kansas-Nebraska Act of 1854, spearheaded by Democratic Senator Stephen A. Douglas, overturned the Missouri Compromise and opened new territories to slavery. This law ignited violent clashes in bleeding Kansas, as pro- and anti-slavery settlers rushed to sway the territory's status. Earlier, the Compromise of 1850, supported by Southern Democrats, strengthened the Fugitive Slave Act, forcing northern states to return escaped enslaved people. These laws deepened sectional divides, with Democrats framing slavery as a states' rights issue rather than a moral failing. In 1857, the Dred Scott decision marked a turning point. The Supreme Court, influenced by pro-Southern justices, ruled that black Americans were not citizens and that Congress could not ban slavery in territories. Democrats celebrated this decision, seeing it as a victory for their vision of an expanding slaveholding nation. Republicans like Abraham Lincoln condemned it, warning that slavery could now spread nationwide. By 1860, the Democratic Party split along regional lines. Southern Democrats demanded federal protection for slavery, while Northerners grew wary. The election of Republican Abraham Lincoln, a staunch opponent of slavery's expansion, triggered Southern secession. 11 states, led by Democratic politicians, formed the Confederacy, cementing the party's association with slavery. Yet this era also sowed the seeds of change. After the Civil War, the parties gradually realigned. By the mid-20th century, Democrats and Republicans had shifted positions on civil rights, with the Democratic Party embracing racial equality, a stark contrast to its 19th century legacy. The Democratic Party's historical support for slavery is a complex chapter in American history, one shaped by geography, economics, and political pragmatism. While the party's values have transformed over time, this past reminds us how deeply institutions can evolve. Understanding this history is key to confronting its enduring legacy.